Let's speak to William Davison. He's a senior Ethiopia analyst with the International Crisis Group. He's joining us from Nairobi. Thanks for your time. So local authorities, we understand, are pointing the finger at the Oromo Liberation Front, who are denying responsibility. What do you make of what happened, and who could be behind it?
There's something of an important distinction between the Oromo Liberation Front, which is a political party, and the Oromo Liberation Army, which many people see as a sort of armed splinter group of that political party. At the moment, we know that this is a very similar report to other tragic massacres of civilians in this part of Ethiopia, Western Oromia. Similar incidents also occurring in region to the north in Benishangul. Often the victims are of the Amhara ethnic group. What we do not know is exactly the circumstances of these massacres and who is responsible. It is a question of claim and counterclaim at the moment, with each incident adding to the tensions and increasing the allegations. So at the moment, there is simply no clarity. But of course, we do know that the government and their political opponents are very much blaming the Oromo Liberation Army rebel group for these massacres.
Right. So as you're saying, I mean, there are several flashpoints here where ethnic rivalries are taking place. And our reporter was mentioning also a little while ago that these are over land and power and resources. So why is the government unable to control what's going on?
The Oromo Liberation Army is an extension of a decades-long struggle by some Oromo political factions against what they see as perceived marginalization and a lack of autonomy for their community within the Ethiopian political system. There is also a legal political representation of that, but they are also claiming state oppression, have effectively boycotted elections as they approach. The violence we are seeing in Oromia, a lot of it is between the actions of the Oromo Liberation Army rebel group against the government and then sort of counter-insurgency action by the government. And it's amidst that conflict which there have been these reported massacres of civilians blamed by various entities essentially on each other, and they have often been against the Amhara ethnic group.
What will be the impact on the parliamentary elections taking place in June, if any at all?
There is continued instability in Western Oromia. So that is one of the parts of the country where it looks like the security problems may make it difficult for the government to successfully run an election. As I mentioned, there has already been an election boycott by the major Oromo opposition parties. So whilst this violence is absolutely tragic, it will cause problems for the authorities, the electoral authorities. It doesn't necessarily look like there's no suggestion it will lead to a cancellation of the election or anything like that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us from Nairobi, William Davison.
Thank you very much.